the eldest son of the Wood-Green family, Ash Wood-Green. He was lying on the couch and reading a book. He asked his sister if she needed anything, because the girl's birthday is very soon. Maybe she wants something special? The eldest daughter of the family, Lydia Wood-Green, secretly burning fan letters from her younger brother, replied that she did not want anything. That's always the case. She doesn't even like dolls as a gift from Ash very much. The girl laughed. She lied when she said she didn't want anything. The only thing she wishes with all her heart is to avoid death at the hands of her own brother. She must survive. She said that after her birthday, his holiday is coming soon. When he turns 18, he will become an adult. Everything is right. They will celebrate his birthday that day. And on the same day, the main character will appear. It will be the day of Lydia's escape. She was a university student and lived in Seoul. Some psycho would have yelled at her if she hadn't met him then. Her life wouldn't have ended. She was scared. It's hard to believe that something like this happened to her. She tried to run away from him and ran out onto the road. Why is she so unlucky? At first she thought she was dead. But she was reborn in another world. After dying because of that psycho, she got another chance. The girl was reborn in the fantasy world of the novel. There's a monarch and nobles here. There's even magic here. She was born not just with a golden spoon in her mouth, but with a diamond spoon. She is not just a noblewoman, but the eldest daughter of a duke. All her life she walked the red carpet. You just need to keep following it and live happily ever after. Her past life was torture, and in this life she pulled out a golden ticket. But the happiness was short-lived. At night, the girl was walking down the corridor and heard the voices of her parents. They talked about how Lydia would be upset when she found out the truth. She was always raised as her own daughter. That is, she was adopted. Not happening. And it was like this. The Duchess was told that she was infertile. They believed and adopted Lydia. And the doctor turned out to be a fraud. When she found out the truth, the Duchess was already in position and her brother was on the way. She was so upset that she lay in bed for several days. What if her brother was born and her parents abandoned her? Will she have time to pack her things? And where can she get the money? What should I take with me? She has time to figure out what's valuable in her room. She was under constant stress and wondered when she would be kicked out. And finally, it's been 7 years, and she hasn't been kicked out. She seems to be too emotional. Her brother was always on her side. Ash brought a present for her 11th birthday. She opened the bag. Melissa, the maid, was inside. He said the gift was a doll. Ash was looking for the same doll that Lydia had broken. As it turned out, it was discontinued. He thought it was wrong. And I made her a present. What is he talking about? The doll that the girl had looked really realistic, but it was just a doll. He dressed the maid up exactly like a doll and brought her to Lydia. But this is a living person. He's a fucking psychopath. Isn't that too much? How can a 7-year-old child not distinguish a doll from a living person? Lydia got angry and yelled at him, telling him to let the maid go. How can you not be angry when a child does this? Maybe he has some kind of mental problems? It looks like we'll have to teach him. So naively she thought. After a while, he brought a new doll. He thought that Lydia was angry last time because he didn't like the last doll. She started scolding her brother again. Ash thinks it's all a game. As if for him, all people except family are animals or things. Ordinary toys. You should punish him more next time. How naive she was. There will be much more serious problems ahead. It turns out that she is in a novel. Unbelievable. It is called The Spring of the Divine Agrita. The plot of the novel takes place in this world. There are many other characters here. The villain is Ash Wood-Green. A minor character is Lydia Wood-Green. Is this a joke? Maybe the author used real names? Or maybe it's just a coincidence? The girl ran up to Bessie's maid. Lydia poked the book in the maid's face. "What is written in the book?" The girl replied that the book had empty pages. Bessie wouldn't lie to the little lady. Has the girl gone crazy? This can't be happening. Everything that happened in the last couple of days is described in great detail in the novel. This is exactly the world from the novel. Even if she was crazy, she wouldn't be able to predict the future. Or maybe she got such a privilege because she remembers her past life. But this is not the main problem. If you believe the plot of this fiction, she will be killed again. One more time? According to the plot of the novel, her parents will die in years due to a serious illness. The fact that she was adopted will be revealed. Ash will realize that Lydia is not his family, and she will be killed by her brother. He is smart, strong, and will inherit the title. He will destroy everything in his path, everything that pisses him off. But even such a monster can fall in love. And this will be the main character of Agrita. Ash will fall in love with her at first sight, destroying the people around her. The day of Lydia's death is approaching rapidly. There was no need to punish him. It was necessary to treat him kindly and sweetly. And now he's going to kill her. She didn't sleep all night and finally decided. She just needs to escape. But it's not going to work right now. If he catches her red-handed, he'll freak out and maybe kill her even sooner. In the story, Ash will fall in love with the heroine at first sight. And then he would stop caring about Lydia. And she will run away and save her life. But before, she has to do one thing. To prevent the death of parents. They say that if you desperately ask for something, then heaven will hear the pleas. That's exactly what she did. May they find eternal rest, the priest said. It seems Lydia can't change the future with prayer. Ash grabbed her arm. It seems that they were left alone. Only the secondary character and the antagonist who will swat the first one are left. The girl began to cry. It seems she screwed up. Although she knew all the time what was going to happen, but the death of her parents broke her. And the escape plan is not going as easily as she thought. She didn't even notice that time was flying at breakneck speed. Lydia commanded the servants and prepared for the event. In the evening, over tea, she caught another attack of anxiety due to eternal stress. That day will come tomorrow. The fateful meeting of the main character and the villain. His gaze will be focused only on her. And thanks to this, the secondary character will escape. Perfect? You need to run during the banquet, as soon as the heroine appears. When Ash falls in love with her, he needs to get out of here. He's going to kill all the people around her because they're going to piss him off like flies. If Lydia misses this chance, she will go back to the afterlife. The Duke arrived unexpectedly again and sat down at the table. The maid said that the owners look so happy when they spend time together. She giggled. She hears these words so often that she no longer pays attention. The brother said that he wanted to go to the chapel again tomorrow and invited the girl with him. She once mentioned that she wanted to go to the square, to the chapel. Did she really say that? How does he remember such a small thing? Definitely not, she thought. But she told her brother that she would be very busy. Lydia had already seen the chapel, and the place was so old that there was nothing left to look at. Did Ash notice? It's really a dumb excuse. The girl offered to demolish it and rebuild it. Well, if that's what she says, he will do it. She did a damn crazy thing. And soon she realized everything. The next day, Ash informed his sister that he had done what she asked. He just did that today. What? He destroyed the chapel. Has the church been destroyed? Completely? So, she asked, did you destroy that chapel in the square? Really? Of course, he replied. Anyone who hears their conversation will think that it's about an ordinary sandcastle. Ash also said that it was worth doing it earlier. But that's impossible. God, he's definitely a psychopath. She only mentioned the chapel yesterday. Another person would have thought it was just a joke. But Ash is not joking, he is sincere in everything. This psychopathic villainous younger brother didn't even think about the human sacrifice. And she hid behind the chapel for her own purposes. In the end, this is what happened. She apologized to the people who were in the chapel. Lydia hopes those people will go to a better place. Wait, when exactly did he demolish the chapel? Ash said he did it this morning. In the morning? He did it in the morning. The girl jumped off the seat and ran away at breakneck speed. She rushed to the servant and immediately demanded a list of the injured. Really? No, it can't be. It seems that she just screwed herself up. This morning, Agrita climbed the chapel. After all, today was a charity event. At the action, it was necessary to pray that everything would go without incident. But this evil little brother, he destroyed the chapel early in the morning. Did he really do that? Lydia gave an assignment to a servant because she doesn't really know if the main character, Agrita, is on the list or not. She hoped everything was okay. The servant brought the list. The losses were not as great as she had thought. But Agrita was on the list. The main character is dead. How is that? How could she have died? Lydia, did the younger brother ask? It's just crazy. This boy killed the main character. He's crazy, he's really crazy. He doesn't even know who he killed. There's only one way to fix it. The girl locked herself in the room. She wanted to use it if she couldn't escape. She wanted to keep it until the very end. There was a box in a secret cabinet. According to the plot of the novel, when Lydia realized that the end was deplorable, she made every effort to survive. At any cost. According to the plot, it should belong to Agrita. Originally, there were 3 gods in this world: the god of destruction, the god of time, and the goddess of love. There are temples for each god. But 10 years ago, one oracle appeared in all frames. On the day when the moon illuminates the lowest place on earth, a goddess will appear in this world. She will look after and take care of everything on earth. Opinions on the interpretation of the prophecy were divided when people wondered what it meant. The oracles agreed that the full moon has nothing to do with the real moon. The prince of the empire was nicknamed the Young Sun. The crown prince worked undercover to understand the public unrest. On a cold, lonely street, he met a poor child. Quite by chance, they ran into Agita. After that, Agrita will become the crown princess. The oracle declared that she was destined for the role of empress. Agrita, who became empress, will be revered as the goddess of prophecy for her benefactor. Even the temple and the priests recognize her as a goddess, but that will be in the future. The temple does not know the truth yet, but there has already been a clamor that everyone should welcome the goddess who will descend to earth. Grihaya is an artifact made by the temple in honor of the god of time. Stones that will help turn back time when breaking. They are made by the temple as a gift for the goddess. It takes 10 years to make 30 stones. How did they end up at Lydia's? She stole them. She only managed to steal 15 grand. If the temple had caught her, she would have been strung up on a noose. Lydia believes that stealing only half of the stones was a manifestation of consciousness. With the help of the artifact, she will save Agrita. How can you call her a thief when she has such a noble purpose? Now she can rewind the time and save Agrita. The more she thought about it, the more incredible it all seemed. How could he kill the main character? If it wasn't about Ash, she wouldn't have done anything. How she wants to scold him. The success of her escape depends directly on Agrita's life. Lydia went out into the hallway and shouted. She kept silent all the time, not saying what was on her mind. The girl came up to her brother and said, "Crazy bastard, is it possible to throw away other people's lives like that? I don't want you to live like a villain." She waved her hand and the stone shattered.